So when you think of R&B, what artists do you think about? Do you think maybe early 90s, Boyz II Men, 112, Alicia Keys? Or maybe you might be an old school fan, Marvin Gaye, Al Green, Aretha Franklin? When I think about R&B, I think of one person in particular, and that is Luther Vandross. Luther Vandross's influence on R&B music spans many generations. So today I'd like to discuss with you how he began in his music career, his influences, the people he's performed with, and the many awards he has earned. On April 20th, 1951, Luther Vandross was born in Manhattan, New York. At the early age of 3, his parents saw something in him because he started playing a little bit, dabbling in the piano. By the age of 5, they had already signed him up for lessons. But Luther Vandross was not the only musician in the family. His sister, in her young teenage years, was already part of a music group which performed throughout their community. This didn't discourage Luther Vandross, but it gave him hope that he could forward his career. So as he got older, he decided to take leave of Manhattan, New York, and enroll in Western Michigan University. Because of Luther's love for music, he did not do well in college. His love for music was so ingrained that he even told his roommate that he was Dionne Warwick's brother. Interestingly enough, that moves me on into my next subject, his influences. Of all the influences Luther had, the biggest was Dionne Warwick. But Luther had a lot of influences with strong female leads. For instance, Patti LaBelle and Diana Ross. But along with those influences, Luther has always also performed with these people. And some of the people he's performed with include Chic, Sister Sledge, Evelyn Champagne King, Chaka Khan, Cheryl Lynn, Mariah Carey. He's even performed a song, The Closer I Get to You, a remake he did with Beyonce by another one of his strong influences, Roberta Flack. Now I've named many R&B artists that he's performed with, but he's also dabbled in the pop culture. He's performed and sang background for Cher, David Bowie. Actually, he's co-written many songs and sang with David Bowie, and he's even sang with Bette Midler. Now Luther, throughout this time, felt his efforts were going unnoticed. Until he started his solo career, he had nothing to show for it. But that is where we are wrong. The many awards Luther has earned because of his music, here are a few I can name. For instance, he's been nominated for 32 Grammys. 8 of them he won, and this was between the time frame of 1982 to 2004. And most notably, in 1991, he received a Grammy for the song we're listening to now, Here and Now. In 2004, he won Song of the Year and Best R&B Male Vocal Performance for the album and song Dance with My Father. Along with those Grammys, he's been nominated for 12 American Music Awards, and he won 9 of those. He also won 4 NAACP Image Awards. And in 2014, Luther Vandross finally received his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So that's a little bit about Luther Vandross. I didn't want to go in too depth with it, but I did talk about how he started, his influences, the people he's performed with, the small number of people he's performed with, and all the awards he's received. Unfortunately, in 2003, April 16th, Luther Vandross had a stroke. And this was during the time he just released the album Dance with My Father. Unfortunately, it did not get better, and he passed away July 1st, 2005. But in his passing, Luther Vandross leaves a strong influence and legacy in his music. Thank you for listening, and that's my little tribute to Luther Vandross.